There you go. Okay, we'll start on our backs. So take a moment to arrive on your back and make sure you have a dowel and a slow-mo ball close beside you. So coming into constructive rest, root your feet down, soften everything into the earth. We'll take a few mindful breaths here to really drop into the energy of the earth. And gently close your eyes if that feels okay in your body. And then placing one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart. And taking a few breaths here. And start to breathe into your hands, nice and slow and gentle. Coming into radiant breath, inhale to fill and expand into the body. Exhale as you allow everything to draw back through center. And then take a moment to set an intention for your practice tonight. Maybe it's as simple as one word, being present or open or connected. Maybe it's a whole phrase. On your next exhale, letting that go. Slowly start to cactus your arms out to the side. Bring your feet a little bit wider and then windshield wiper them back and forth. My cat is rubbing her own head on my hand. When you come to one side, pause. Take a full breath there. And slowly come back through center to the other side. And slowly coming back through center, draw the knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a little hug. And then a little gentle rock into the low back, maybe side to side, up and down. Focusing on a nice, slow, steady rhythm in your breath. We'll place hands onto the knees and then start to come into some little circles through the hips. Warming up into the hips. Switching into the opposite direction. And slowly draw the right leg in, straightening through the left, coming into window leaving pose. Give that leg a squeeze. Draw it into your body. Maybe even a gentle little rocking back and forth. And then slowly start to bring the leg out to the side into a groin stretch. Inhale back through center. And then as you exhale, bring the leg across your body into a twist. Either looking up towards the ceiling or in the opposite direction. Inhale as you come back through center, switching to the other side. Left leg comes in, straightening through the right. Soften through your shoulders, give that leg a little squeeze, and then maybe a gentle little rocking back and forth. And slowly bringing the leg out to the side, coming into a groin stretch. And drawing it back through center, across the body, into a twist. Either looking up towards the ceiling or in the opposite direction. Now slowly bring ourselves back through center. Root your feet down. On your exhale, lifting your hips up, start to bring yourself into a bridge. The hands can either be beside you, maybe you want to clasp them underneath your body. We'll just take a few breaths here to connect with your body and your breath. Finding sukha and stiram, steadiness and ease. Find your slow-mo ball, placing it right under your sacrum, and then slowly start to lower your hips onto it. Maybe take a cleansing breath out the mouth, let everything go. And then we'll slowly start to move the body from side to side. So moving your hips from one side to the other. Connecting with this lateral movement. And start to invite that movement into a full circle. And then switching direction in the opposite direction. We'll come into a few pelvic tilts. Inhale to tilt the pelvis towards your feet, and then gently exhale, tilting towards your shoulders. Moving with your breath. Inhale towards your feet, exhaling towards your shoulders. And let's slowly invite the legs up towards the ceiling. Your hands can follow. Pointing and flexing, inviting a little bit of movement through the ankles, through the wrists. Whatever that looks like. Maybe bringing everything out, maybe even holding onto your feet. And then eventually come into a little shaking. Gently shake the legs, shake the arms. Exhale to soften everything into the earth. We'll come into a few starfish. So keep the knees bent. Inhale to open and expand. Exhale back through center. Like you have a big balloon or beach ball in between the hands. Moving with your breath. Inhaling as you open and expand. Exhaling back through center. Option to invite a Panavayu breath, that rooting and grounding breath in. As you bring everything together, there's a lifting and gathering of the pelvic floor. Inhale to release and open. Exhale to gather and lift. And slowly release the legs down. Give yourself a little hug. You're going to lower one foot down at a time. Extend the legs out and then reach your arms overhead. Give your whole body a stretch. Bending one leg and the other. Root down. Gently lift your hips up. Remove your slow-mo ball, placing it to the side. Find your dowel. We're going to come right into sacral smiles, placing it underneath the knees. Option to place a little bit of support under your sacrum if you like, or just have it onto the ground. Arms are going to come up towards the ceiling, hands onto your elbows, making a square. Exhale to sink into the earth, and we'll start here, gently bringing the legs in one direction, the arms in the opposite. Working your transverse abdominals, moving with your breath. And slow and gentle, getting into your tensile system. Letting the breath guide your movement. Feeling the body gliding, hydrating. And then slowly coming back through center. On your last one, let's release that, placing that to the side. Place your hands underneath your legs or roll to your side, whatever you prefer. We're going to bring ourselves up into hands and knees. So taking your time. Coming onto hands and knees. Give the head a little bit of movement here. Gently moving the head from side to side, and then slowly start to move into some cat-cow. Whatever that looks like in your body. Maybe your hips want to move from side to side first. Maybe the head wants to follow. Tapping into that intuitive movement. Maybe your hips want to move into some full little circles. I'm going to start to walk the hands forward. Exhale to let your body sink towards the earth, coming into puppy pose. Try to soften through everything, keeping the hips nice and elevated. And then slowly draw your hips towards your heels, settling into child's pose, taking a breath here. Feeling, expanding into the body. Nice, slow, steady breath. And gently walk your hands to one side, coming into a side stretch. Invite your breath into the side body. Feeling into the ribs and intercostals. And slowly come all the way back through center to the other side. And then as you come back through center, bring yourself up in a tabletop, curling your toes under. Press back into a downward facing dog. So first start to pedal the legs out, gently bending one leg and the other. And then pause, bending one leg, rooting your hands down. Soften here, take a full breath here. Connecting into the back of that leg, that straight leg. And then we'll switch. Bend your other leg, keeping your other leg straight. And then release. Start to rock up onto the toes and back. A little bit of forward and back movement. And then come into a super gentle flow. Inhale to bring your body forward into plank. Lower onto your knees. Lower your whole body down. Take your time, coming all the way onto your belly. We'll come into a few baby cobras. So nice and slow. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower. Moving with your breath. Last one. And then slowly start to bring yourself into Sphinx. Shoulders are right over top of the elbows. The feet can be as wide apart as feels comfortable. Finding softness into your forehead and jaw. Letting your body receive this posture. Nice, slow, steady breath. And then we'll slowly start to come out. And then as you exhale, start to bring yourself back into a child's pose. Beautiful. Breathing into the back body. And then on your next inhale, bring yourself up. We're going to come right into seated. And so grab your dowel, coming into a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like in your body. You can sit cross-legged if you like, or in Virasana on your knees, or even with your legs out. We'll start first with tapping and rolling, and then we'll come into a few seated postures. So grabbing your dowel and just little taps into the legs. Maybe a nice cleansing breath. Allowing all the cells, the fascial system, to get a little bit of energy. And when you feel complete with tapping on one side, start to roll it out. And you can roll all the way up and down, or explore that little side to side motion like a teeter-totter or figure eight. Sometimes I like to just do tiny little movements, especially when I'm getting around the knee, getting into the ligaments and the fascia in the knee. And then give a nice roll into the IT band, that nice thick band of connective tissue into the side of the body. Make sure you get the inside of the leg as well. And then when you feel complete with that leg, we're going to do a little tapping on the bottom of the foot. So take your dowel, give a few little taps right into the bottom of the foot. When you get to the heel, you may even feel the energy moving up your leg. And then let's release that and head right to the other side. We'll do a little tapping first. The upper and lower body. Even switch. Sometimes I notice that I'm doing all the tapping with one arm, so I'll switch over, even though it's maybe not as rhythmic. Do a little tapping with my other hand, my other arm. And then when you feel complete with tapping, you can start to roll it out. As you're doing that, really allow the breath to release. That nice full exhale. And then when you feel complete with that side, we'll come and do a few taps on the bottom of the foot. Love here. Beautiful. Let's release that. We're going to come into a one-legged forward fold. Before we fold forward, you're going to take your leg into the hand, so you can place the foot right into the hand, or the foot can come right up into the crease. And we're going to draw that leg in and then start to rock it. Just gently inviting a little bit of openness into it. And we'll release that leg onto the inside of the foot. Beautiful. Turning towards your foot, soften into the shoulders, lengthen up, checking in with the back body. And then as you exhale, slowly draw your body forward. You can just bring the hands beside you if you like, or place them on the bottom of your foot. Maybe you even want a little support under your knees. Sometimes I like the slow-mo ball there. And try to soften all the muscles in your face, forehead, jaw, cheeks. Letting your body settle into this. Noticing if there's any last tension that you can let go of. And take another breath or two here. And then slowly on your inhale, bring yourself up through center. And we'll switch to the other side, straightening your other leg. We'll take that leg up first, into the hand or right into the crease, and then invite a little bit of movement, gentle rocking back and forth. And then we'll slowly place the foot onto the inside of the leg. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, soften everything as you hinge your body forward, looking towards your foot. Softening all the muscles in your face. Allowing everything to settle. And take another few breaths here on this side. And slowly on your inhale, bring your body up. I'm going to transition into a toe squat. This has been one of my favorite postures lately to really get into the fascia in my feet. So coming onto the toes, bringing your hips towards your heels. I like to practice on a little block so I have a little bit more support on my knees. And then we'll come into eagle arms. Let's bring the arms out to the side, soften the shoulders, taking the right arm over top. Give yourself a hug. Option to stay here. Notice if this feels nourishing. If not, you can come into eagle arms. Slowly let them come forward, ever so gently, letting the head come down as well. And take a few full breaths into the back body. We'll inhale to come up, open the arms out, and transition to the other side. So bringing the other arm up and over, give your body a little hug. Option to stay here or wrap the arms around. Inhale, lengthen, exhale to soften into it, letting the head and neck come forward. Nice, slow, steady breath. And slowly start to bring your body out. Let's unravel the arms, bring the hands forward, release your toes, and then tap them out, tapping the feet out. Letting that go. Can place our block to the side. Make your way back to hands and knees. And then from here, we're going to curl the toes under, coming back into a downward facing dog. So in transitions, notice what your body needs. If you would rather come into child's pose, please do that. We'll take a few breaths here, maybe even pedaling the legs out, listening to what your body needs. We're going to slowly step the right foot forward, lowering the back leg. Pause here in low lunge, taking a breath. Find your block. We're going to bring it onto the one side. Arm is going to come onto the thigh. Soften into the shoulders and then find alignment through your spine. We're coming into our longer, deeper holds. So keep checking in with your edge, your breath, noticing if it draws you deeper in or if you want to come out a little bit more. Honoring your body, holding for time, finding moments of stillness and silence. We're going to slowly lower our block down. Root your hand onto it. The left hand is on, and then gently bring the right arm up into a little bit of a twist. If you prefer to have that top arm onto your hip, you can. Just try to turn your body to the side. Notice how that feels differently in that back hip flexor. And then we'll slowly start to bring ourselves back through center. Block can go to the side, curl the back toes up. Step yourself back into either a downward facing dog, into a child's pose, or maybe through a round of cat-cow. Listen to what your body needs in transition. We'll gently step our left foot forward. Take your time here, keeping that back leg up for a breath. And then we'll slowly lower the back knee down. Bringing yourself into low lunge. I'm using my block, softening through the shoulders to find alignment in my body. Maybe even closing your eyes, bringing that awareness interoceptively. Nice, slow, steady breath. Focusing on the back hip. And then slowly come into our twist. So lowering the block down, always an option to use your fist if you prefer. I'm placing my hand flat onto it. And then I'm just taking a moment to twist myself to the side. Option to keep that top arm up if you like. Just notice if it's creating tension in the shoulders. Maybe you want to place it onto your hip if you prefer. You may even want your fingers to just hang over the block. So making sure you find comfort in your body where you can actually settle into the posture. We'll slowly start to unravel out of that. Taking your time, rooting the hands down, curl up, stepping back into downward facing dog. A little pedaling of the feet. Nice, slow, steady breath. And then we'll gently walk our hands and our feet together, coming into with the knees bent, and we're going to bring the forearms onto our thighs. While you're here, start to invite a little bit of movement through your head and neck. Keeping the knees bent. Gently bringing the chin down and back up. And then slowly allow the hands to come back towards the earth. Option to stay here, or maybe holding onto the elbows for a few breaths in a dangle. I'm going to start to make our way up. So root through your feet, press into the earth. Slowly take your time, roll your body up. As you come up, start to bring the arms all the way overhead. And then all the way to your heart. I'm taking a breath here, pause here. Sukha and Stiram, steadiness and ease. And grab your dowel or your spiky ball, whatever you would like to roll your feet out with. I'm going to use my dowel. We'll start with one foot. Doesn't matter what one tonight. Getting from the toes all the way into your heel. A little roll into that inside edge. You can explore a little bit of pressure. And then a little ringing. Right in the center, back and forth. And then gently roll it out a little more. Let's step off, pause, take a breath in Tadasana, a little bend into your knees, softness into your shoulders. And then let's move to the other side, rolling from the toes all the way into your heel. And explore a little bit of pressure into the center. A little release onto that inside edge. A little ringing back and forth. And then a little bit faster. And if you're using your ball, find your dowel. We're going to step onto the dowel and do a few lateral stretches. So rooting through your heels, nice little bend into the knees, soften into the shoulders. As you exhale, let your body hinge sideways. So opening up through our lateral fascial system, letting the head and neck fall as well. And then slowly bring your body up. And just noticing maybe how it feels from one side to the other. We'll explore 2 on each side. Maybe one side feels a little bit more free and open. And then as you come all the way back up through center, let's release that. Placing that to the side. I'm going to take a nice big wide-legged stance. So the toes are going to be angled inward. Soften through your shoulders, coming into wide-legged forward fold. So from here, we're going to clasp the hands behind our back. Little bend into the knees, as long as that feels okay. And then as you exhale, start to come forward, letting the hands fall forward as well. Try to soften through the shoulders. You can invite a little bit of movement and then try to find stillness. And slowly start to bring your arms towards the earth. And coming into any version of wide-legged forward fold that feels good in your body right now. Notice if you want to come up a little bit higher. That feels better in my body. My one SI joint's a little bit tender. So just keep checking in. Yin allows us to bring that awareness a little bit deeper into the body, to our internal landscape, that interoceptive awareness. What are my holding patterns? Where can I soften? Where can I release? Where is my breath not reaching? Can I lengthen it? We're going to slowly start to bring the arms, the hands to one foot. So bring them over to one foot, coming to one side, getting right into a groin stretch. Toes are going to come up towards the ceiling. And then first, we're going to walk the hands forward. Soften into this, letting the head hang. You'll feel that right into the groin. This half squat. And then we're going to root down through the left arm and then open your right arm up to expand and open through the heart. You can even look towards that back hand if you like. And slowly release, coming back through center to the other side. So take your time bringing yourself to the other side. We'll press into the heels, toes up, and get into that groin stretch first. Start to walk the hands forward, softening into the shoulders. Let the head hang. Nice, slow, steady rhythm in your breath. Sukha and Stiram. Steadiness and ease. And slowly start to come up, rooting down into the right arm. Gently peel your left arm open this time. Maybe even looking towards the back. And slowly release that. Coming all the way back through center. We're going to bring ourselves into Malasana, into Yogi Squat. So start to heel toe your feet together. Toes are going to be slightly angled outward. The forearms can come onto your thighs, bringing the hips down. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you want to use your little block today to actually sit on your block. Maybe you don't want to use your block at all, coming into it. Try to press into the inner thighs and lengthen up through the spine instead of rounding the body forward. And then come into Sukha and Stiram, steadiness and ease. Softness into your forehead, your jaw. Slow, steady breath. Take one more breath here. Let's release the hands down towards the earth. Start to press yourself up. And then gently bend one leg and the other. And slowly start to walk yourself back into a downward facing dog. Gently pedaling it out. Lowering onto your knees. And then all the way back, bring the hips towards your heels into child's pose. Let everything settle into the earth. And slow, steady breath. And we slowly start to bring ourselves up and then make our way onto our backs. Make sure you have your slow-mo ball, your block beside you, and a spiky ball. So we're going to come and do a little release into the thoracic spine. I am going to use my blue block for my support in my head. And then when you come down, make sure that it's right in between the shoulder blades. You're going to have that little support underneath your head. Soften into it. Let's cactus the arms out to the side. Just take a few breaths here to let the body receive. Coming into a mudra, connect your thumb and your index finger to make a little circle. The arms are coming up towards the ceiling. Softness into the elbows and through the shoulder blades. Let's start to make some small little circles, really hydrating through the back body. And then slowly moving in the opposite direction. And bring the hands together, keeping that nice bend of the elbows. Coming into owl wings, slowly bring the arms out to the side and then all the way back up through center. And gently moving with your breath. We'll do one more. I like to inhale as I open, exhale to bring everything back through center. And then coming into Hakini Mudra, so connect all the fingertips together, soften into the shoulders. And then slowly start to bring the arms behind you, reaching them past your head, and then back through center. Try to keep the eyes closed, bringing your awareness through the back body. Connecting with your body gliding. Last one. And when you release that, slowly bring the arms one over top of the other. Give your whole body a hug. Take a full expansive breath into your back body. Let it go completely. Let's reach the arms up. Other side. Hug yourself in the opposite direction. Giving yourself some love. And then that full expansive breath into the back body. Beautiful. Release that. Gently roll to one side. Remove your slow-mo ball and your block on your head. Find your spiky ball. I'm going to do a little neck release first, and then we'll get into the glutes. Placing it right behind the base of the skull. Soften here. Soften into your jaw, your forehead. You can just pause and take a breath if you like, or explore a little bit of gentle movement from side to side. And then when you arrive back through center, we'll release that, lowering your head back down, and then coming right into thread the needle. So bringing the right leg up, threading it over top. Pause, so your option is stay here. Check in. Or thread through to grab onto the hamstring or the shin. Soften through your shoulders, and then that gentle chin tuck, so the chin is towards your feet. Slow, steady breath. So lower the left leg down, keeping the right up. I have been exploring this with another block or two spiky balls. So just notice if you have a chip foam block or maybe another block that you want. I'm gonna lift up just to keep a little bit more balance into my SI joint. So lift up, placing that ball right underneath the right glute, and it's been allowing my body to really soften. So I'm placing a little bit of support underneath my left, and then I'm really just settling into that, like letting everything go. And then you can explore a little bit of rocking with the leg, getting into the glute. Move the ball around. Inviting breath all the way into the low belly. And then if you want to get into the piriformis and glute med, bring the ball out to the side. And then you'll come off of it. If you're using the support, you'll come off of it as the knee comes down towards the ground. And then see if you can just soften and sink into it. We'll slowly release that side, placing your ball. And if you are using support, to the side, and let's come into thread the needle onto the other side. The left leg is coming up and over. Option is stay here, especially if that feels good in your body, or thread through to grab onto your hamstring or shin. Try to soften the shoulders away. Little gentle tuck into the chin. Sukha and Stiram, steadiness and ease. Checking in with your edge. Slow, steady breath. Letting go of any residual tension. We'll slowly lower the right leg down. Find your spiky ball coming to the other side. So lifting up, placing that ball underneath the glute. Option to stay here if you want to explore that, or if you're wanting to explore that little support under your other glute, you can. I don't have it too far in, I just kind of have it to the outside so my body can soften more into it. Just noticing what feels good in your body. Moving the ball around with your breath. You want to get into the piriformis and glute med, bringing the ball towards the side, and then gently let your knee come down to the ground. Nice, slow, steady breath here. Slowly bringing yourself back through center. Let's release that. Find your block, placing it underneath your sacrum, making your way into a supported bridge. Take a moment to find that balance into the center. Maybe placing your hands onto your belly if that feels okay, and inviting your breath all the way in. Option to stay here with the legs bent. If you want to explore coming into a waterfall, lifting the legs up towards the ceiling, slowly start to bring your legs up, keeping a little bend into the knees. Trying to stay rooted into the sacrum. Connecting with the downward energy of movement. Notice if you can soften anywhere else in the lower body. Now slowly lower one leg down at a time. Take your time. With the legs bent, take another breath here. Spend a few more breaths, just about 5 more breaths. Notice if for those last 5 breaths, if you would like to straighten your legs out, maybe even extend your arms overhead, whatever will nourish your body. And after your last breath, slowly starting to bend your legs. Take your time. Rooting through your feet, lift up. Remove your support, placing it to the side. And come into any last little movement before Shavasana. So maybe gently moving the legs from side to side. Anything at all. Maybe your body feels complete and wants to come right into it. Option to stay in constructive rest. Bring your legs onto a chair or something. Having them flat out. Anything at all. Maybe a blanket. Maybe turning your lights off. And taking a nice cleansing breath if you feel called to. And gently closing your eyes. Connecting with the slow, steady rhythm of your breath. The gentle inhale. And that gentle exhale. Each exhale, letting go a little bit deeper. Softening a little more. Surrendering into the energy of the earth. Letting heaviness move through the body. Move through your body. I'm going to read a short poem from Donna Folds tonight. Fear and love seldom stand shoulder to shoulder. It's rare to laugh and lie in the same breath. But strength and weakness, failure and success, faith and desolation, they are different ends of the single stick. To pick one up is to receive both poles. Stark contrasts contribute to a knowledge of the whole. What is life but growing wide and deep, so open from weeping that opposites, ambiguity, and 1,000 shades of gray can coexist without despair. And slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And gently lengthening your breath. And taking your time to bring the hands together, gently rubbing them together until you create a little energy and warmth. And then gently place your hands anywhere on your body that is speaking to you in this moment. Connecting with your opposites, your weakness, your strength, your failure, your success. They are all a part of us. They all make us whole. And sealing your practice off however you like. And slowly releasing your hands. And then start to invite a little bit more movement into your body. Whatever that looks like, however that feels good for you. Taking your time to bring yourself up into seated. The hands can come onto the legs or in Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And gently bow the head towards the heart, connecting qualities of the mind, qualities of our hearts. Love, compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, and acceptance. Honoring all the parts of us, knowing that we are whole and complete exactly as we are. Namaste. Namaste, everyone.